Yo, what's up? So I got Mel Kiper JR's. This is probably his third or fourth mock draft. This is a 2 round one. Yeah, he was one of the most recognizable football analysts in the community. Been in it for a long time, very respected. Also has a lot of stupid picks. So we'll kind of see what he thinks. And yeah, let's look at the mock draft. So first pick, Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, you can lock that in. Zach Wilson also. I think this is a pretty like, bro. I can't think of the word. Locked in pick. I'll just say. I mean, you could see Justin Fields maybe go this pick, but I think Zach Wilson would be a better pick for the Jets, and then the quarterback. So yeah, I don't mind it. 49ers Mac Jones. I've said this before. I don't really like Mac Jones for the 49ers. I don't think it really improves your team more than Jimmy Garoppolo will. The only advantage is he will be on a cheaper contract. But I think if you really want to put your team on that next level, I think Justin Fields or Trey Lance can do that. So I don't really know if Mac Jones is really the type of quarterback they would want. And if they miss on him, then damn, they'll get a lot of hate. Okay, trade. Miami moves up. Okay, after they moved down, then moved back up. Why would they not just move up to here? Bit of weird. And they move up for Kyle Pitts. I don't really like this. The person I did in the last mock draft had this, but they've got Mike Gesicki, who's kind of a similar player. I know Kyle Pitts is like a generational talent, but I don't know how they mold those players into the system. Just all those same type of tight ends. But he is a really good player, and I don't think you trade up for him from 6. You trade up 2 picks. Are you that scared with Atlanta? I think Atlanta probably trade down with a team wanting a quarterback, so I don't really like that. And then the Bengals, Penei Sewell, yeah, that makes sense. They need to improve their offensive line. He can play guard straight away, kind of like Anthony Munoz did, and then his second year move to tackle. And of course, Anthony Munoz was one of the best tackles in NFL history. And Penei Sewell definitely has that potential, so they can get a good young tackle to pair with Joe Burrow for the rest of his career. So I like that. And they got Jonah Jackson. Who's Jonah Jackson? Jonah Williams. And then the Falcons, they trade down, still get Trey Lance. I think that's very good. If they trade down 2 picks, they could still get their future quarterback. I know Matt Ryan will probably be there for another 2, maybe 3 years. But Trey Lance is a very raw player, so he could use to work behind the quarterback for a few years because I don't think he's ready to start straight away. So I would actually like that fit also. Detroit Lions, Jamar Chase. Yeah, they need a true number 1 receiver. Jamar Chase can be that. Very solid receivers. And Tyler Williams, Bradash Perriman, they're not the number 1 receivers. They're 2 and 3 receivers, sometimes 4. But Jamar Chase can really be a good wide receiver, and I think he will. Devontae Smith to the Panthers. I guess I probably would have preferred Rashawn Slater. But, I mean, Devontae Smith is a really good player. But they do have a good wide receiver core already. They got Robbie Anderson. They got DJ Moore. They did get Chris Moore also. So I don't mind their receiver core. But Devontae Smith, I guess, is a really good player. So I'd just be like a nasty receiver core now. But maybe you want to go for a tackle because it is a very deep receiver class. And you're not going to get Rashawn Slater later on in the draft. So I don't mind it. But he's gonna be their third receiver probably to start off with. Maybe in the slot. As my mouse is just like, what the hell? Come on! Bro, I'm raging. Raging Cajun. What is this? Oh my gosh, what is this? Let me just... I'm so sorry about that. Flight Reacts editing coming up. What? I'm not trying to print it. This computer is literally breaking and it's a good computer. And now I can't even freaking press cancel because it's dumb. There, can I press cancel? Can I actually look? Okay, finally. Oh! I didn't press on that. Okay, there. Finally. Oh. Okay, Micah Parsons, Denver Broncos. Yeah, I really like Micah Parsons. He would be a good fit in this Broncos defense. But I probably would. Justin Fields is still on the board, isn't he? Yeah, he is. I would prefer Justin Fields, to be honest. I think he can improve a team more. Yeah, now I don't like this pick because Justin Fields on the board. He's going to be a better player than Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is a linebacker. Justin Fields is a generational type quarterback, and I don't think Drew Lock's the answer. So I don't know why he would go for Micah Parsons in front of Justin Fields. And then the Patriots straight up, they snag Justin Fields because the Broncos decide not to trade up. They'd probably have to do this after the Broncos pick because they probably expect that to be the pick. But then, yeah, the Patriots, they get Justin Fields. That'd be a really good pick for the Patriots. He can sit behind Cam Newton for a year and then come in and replace Tom Brady, fill in those big boots, man. That they really need a quarterback, and that can make their team jump to the next level. So I like it. And New York Giants, Jalen Waddle. I like Jalen Waddle quite a lot. They do have a bunch of receivers threat. Rashawn Slater would be a good pick here also. Maybe even corner, but Jalen Waddle, yeah, he is a really good receiver, really explosive player you can get for Daniel Jones, so I like that pick. And then the Eagles, Patrick Surtain. Yeah, they could upgrade the cornerback position outside of Darius Slay, and he could be a really good number 2 corner opposite of him. And that would just be a lockdown team and kind of be their only really good position group on their team. The Chargers, Rashawn Slater. Yeah, that's a pretty easy pick. They need to get a tackle to protect Justin Herbert. That's a big hole there. So Rashawn Slater can step in straight away, maybe even guard, but they need him for tackle. But like if injuries happen, he can slide in there. And he's a really good tackle, so I like it. And then Vikings, Christian Darrisaw. Yeah, that's not a bad pick. Christian Darrisaw is a good player. I think I would actually prefer this than maybe an edge player because Christian Darrisaw is a really good player. I prefer Tevin Jenkins personally, and you'll see that in my top 50 big board coming up in a few days probably. But let's get back on this. Christian Darrisaw, really good tackle, and the Vikings replaced Riley Reef there, and their O-line's honestly not that good, so yeah. And the Cowboys, yeah, they trade down, still get J.C. Horn. They could be considering J.C. Horn with their first pick, so I think that's really good value, and I mean, depending on what they get for the trade, I mean, they could get any pick. They could get like a second-round pick. That'd be a great steal. Because J.C. Horn is arguably, to some people, the number 1 corner in the draft, and Cowboys need another corner. Improve that secondary. Cardinals, Caleb Farley, yeah, he does have those big injury concerns with having surgery on his back, but he seems to think that he's okay. But of course, he's just going to put up his stock. But yeah, Caleb Farley, very talented cornerback. The injury is definitely dropping him down, boys, but the Cardinals, they really need to improve that cornerback position. Because they don't have Patrick Peterson. They sound like Malcolm Butler, and then they've only got Byron Murphy there. I guess they got Robert Alford, but it's still not a very good group, and there's a lot of really good receivers in that division, so they need to help out that secondary. And then the Raiders, Elijah Vera Tuckle. He probably played guard straight away. I mean, I actually would have preferred here probably Tevin Jenkins, because I think can be a really good tackle in this league, really fits that scheme. Because I don't really like Elijah Vera Tuckle at tackle. I think he's more profiles as a guard. But I guess the versatility they like. But so yeah. And then Miami Dolphins, Kwity Paye. Yeah, they could get another edge rusher. Because edge rush is a very valuable position. You need to rush the passer. And they lost Kyle Van Noy. Well, they released him. And Emmanuel Ogba. No, was it Ogba or was it the other dude though? It might have been Ogba. It was one of their edge rushers they traded to Houston. But yeah, they can improve the edge position. Kwity Paye is a beast. Number 1 edge in my books. Football team, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. This seems to be quite a popular pick. and I like it. Linebackers kind of their only really big need on their defense because it's just they don't really have a lot of speed at that position either, and good coverage abilities. They got like run stoppers like what's that player? Bostic, John Bostic. He's a good run stopper. Same with Cole Holcomb. But JOK, yeah, really good coverage linebacker, so I'd like that. Can play it all over the place. Very versatile. The Bears, Tevin Jenkins, yeah, they could use a tackle. Just improve the offensive line. The tackles are old and the O line is very weak, so it's not gonna be a flashy pick for the Bears, but I like it. And the Colts, Jalen Phillips, yeah, they lost Justin Houston, so edge rush, yeah, is a need. They don't really got anything there, and yeah, they've got no, who is that edge rusher? They've got some dudes, but they also lost players like Autry in Houston, and Jalen Phillips is a good edge rusher, very high upside, but also has those injury concerns. And then the Titans, Elijah Moore. Yeah, I like Elijah Moore. I think he'd be a good fit. Kind of similar to Corey Davis in ways of like size and speed. I think Elijah Moore probably has a bit more speed and athleticism. But yeah, they really need receiver. They've only got AJ Brown, and that's pretty much it. So they need to get him help, or else they'll just double team him the whole game, triple double team him. And yeah, they need another very good weapon. They probably could go wide receiver twice in this draft, like very high up. The Jets, Greg Newsome, they need corner quite a lot, the Jets. And Greg Newsome, I have him as my fifth corner. I have Asante Samuel in front of him because I really like Asante Samuel. But Greg Newsome is a really good corner, so I don't mind it. And yeah, he could fit really well in the Salah defense. So I like that. And the Steelers, Najee Harris, I don't really like the pick. I think if you really want to improve your run game, you improve the offensive line, and that's what you should do. Because Najee Harris isn't going to be a good running back if you don't have a good offensive line that can get holes. I do like Najee Harris as a running back, but I think that you could like make a better pick here and then address running back later on because it's easy to find running backs. I mean, the best rookie running back last year was undrafted James Robinson. So yeah. The Jags, Trayvon Moehrig. Yeah, they did sign Rashawn Jenkins. I probably would prefer maybe a different player like this, like a tackle or I really like Pat Fryermuth maybe to be here. It's a good possibility. If not here, then the second round. But Trayvon Moehrig, best safety in the draft, and they can use him all over that secondary, so I don't mind it. And then the Browns, Jamin Davis, yeah, he's a very high riser in the draft, and the Browns are looking for another linebacker, so that's a good pick. And then the Ravens, Terrace Marshall, yeah, they signed Sammy Watkins. They could use another big, speedy receiver, though, and Terrace Marshall can definitely be that. He's a bit raw, but I like Terrace Marshall. The Saints, Zaven Collins, I don't mind this pick. I think I would have preferred Asante Samuel here because the Saints really need corner. Or maybe receiver. Rashad Bateman still on the board. I think Rashad Bateman would be a really good player, actually. I don't think Zaven Collins is the best player right now. And I think linebacker is like our third need to go for. But Zaven Collins, I do like. He is a very good player, can rush the passer and blitz at a very high rate, but can also drop back into coverage, be a really good run defender, and can defend the pass. So I do like Zaven Collins, but I think there's better players. And then Rashad Bateman goes straight after to the Packers, so they get a weapon. Another weapon for, well, not another weapon because they haven't added anything, but they get somebody for Aaron Rodgers, throws through besides Devontae Adams and Tonyan, so I like it. And then the Bills, Ezekiel Ojulari, yeah, he's a good edge rusher. There's probably about his range, to be honest. He could go earlier to like the Browns, but the Bills could like get somebody to get after the passer better, so I like it. And then the Chiefs, they go for very freakish athlete Jason Owe on the edge. So yeah, I don't mind that pick. They could probably go for edge is a need. Besides, they've only got Frank Clark really, and then they got Taco Charlton, so they could get players there. And then Christian Barmore, Yeah, he can replace. I really like that pick. He can replace Sue, and then him and Vita Vea can just be a beast on that D line. So round two, Kadarius Toney first pick. Yeah, I like Kadarius Toney. That'd just be really good in that Jags offense. Also, they'd have a really good young core of weapons for Trevor Lawrence. So I'd like that. I say I like that a lot. The Jets, Travis Etienne. Yeah, I think this is a good range for him. Probably second round, and the Jets would be a good fit. Then they signed Tevin Coleman, and he could be a good complement to Travis Etienne. They also got Samaje P Ryan, who wasn't bad last year. No, not P Ryan. Lamichael P Ryan, Samaje P Ryan's cousin or brother. I can't remember. But Travis Etienne, yeah, he can be your future running back, and yeah, a good pass catcher also out of the backfield. And then Falcons, Gregory Rousseau. Yeah, I don't really like the pick because I think Atlanta Falcons where edge rushers go to die. And Gregory Rousseau, I don't think he's really going to be anything, so I would prefer the other edge rushers at this point. I don't think he's really that special. And then the Dolphins, Javonte Williams. Yeah, I really like Javonte Williams. I think he's probably a second rounder. I have him as my second ranked running back because I really like him. Just has amazing vision, and the Dolphins could get a true number one running back. I think that's what Javonte Williams is. And the Eagles, Nick Bolton, they really need the linebacker position. They signed Eric Wilson. That's all they have, though. So, Nick Bolton, very good linebacker, so I like that pick. And the Bengals, they get Dami Brown in the second round. Dami Brown's a good deep threat. Can be a good replacement to John Ross. I think there's probably some better receivers, though, before, but if they like De'Ami Brown, then I don't mind it. Get a weapon for Joe Burrow. And then Landon Dickerson. I mean, they got Matt Paradis. Landon Dickerson is just a center, basically, could maybe play guard. He is a very good player, so maybe if they do this, they're moving on from Matt Paradis in like a year, because Landon Dickerson might be injured for a bit because of that. Is it ACL or yeah? I think it's torn ACL. But I think tackle is probably a bigger need than a guard slash center. Well, more center than guard, so I'm not sure about that. Broncos, Kelvin Joseph. Yeah, Kelvin Joseph, pretty talented cornerback. They don't have a lot of production, but I mean the Broncos do have a lot of good corners. But Kyle Fuller's on a 1 year contract. Ronald Darby's not going to be around for that long. I think it's a 2 or 3 year deal, and he can get injured. He has been. He wasn't last year. So Calvin Jones could be a good replacement for Kyle Fuller if he leaves after this year, and Ronald Darby, so I don't mind it. Malcolm Kuntz, what the hell? This is not his range. The second round for Malcolm Kuntz, I do like him as an edge rusher, but the second round, I think that'd just be a big miss for Buffalo. There's better edge rushers on board. Carlos Basham is a better player. Who else? Who else is still on the board? I mean, there's just better edge rushers at this point. Malcolm Kuntz, he's probably a fourth, fifth, around that range, maybe sixth round player. So the second round and early second round, I think that is weird. Yeah, Ronnie Perkins is a better player. Who the Giants get afterwards, and I guess the Giants could get another edge rusher. They've got Leonard Williams in the inside, but they don't got much on the edge. So Ronnie Perkins is a good player. Tyson Campbell to the 49ers. Yeah, he just seems like a 49ers cornerback. I think Paulson Dable is also a good corner for them. I think I prefer Paulson Dable as a corner, but Tyson Campbell, yeah, they could use another cornerback. Lost some players there. And, yeah, I like Tyson Campbell, so yeah. Joe Tryon, he's also better than Malcolm Kuntz. He goes to the Cowboys. The Cowboys, they kind of only got DeMarcus Lawrence. They lost Arnold Smith on the edge, so they could use another athlete on the edge, and that's what Joe Tryon is. He's a very good athlete, so I like it. Jags, Hunter Long. I think if they pick a tight end, it wouldn't be Hunter Long, because Pat Freiermuth, they signed Penn State tight end coach to the Jags, and Pat Freiermuth played at Penn State. So it kind of just seems like they probably want Pat Freiermuth. So I don't know why they would go for Hunter Long. Hunter Long is a pretty decent tight end, but Pat Fryermuth is clear cut the second best tight end in this draft, and he has like connection to the tight end coach. And Urban Meyer, of course, likes taking Big Ten players. And then the Patriots, Amari Rodgers. Yeah, Amari Rodgers, they could use a good player underneath the middle of the field. Good run after the catch receiver, which the Patriots could use. So I like that pick. Eric Stokes to the Chargers. Yeah, Eric Stokes is a really speedy receiver, very, like, rised up a lot in the draft stock around, like, analysts. And the Chargers are older at cornerback, and they're just not that good, and Eric Stokes can be a good player there. Raiders, Richie Grant. Yeah, that's a good pick. He can play in the slot, the box, and free safety. I think he'd probably play free safety for the Raiders. Yeah, I mean, he'd probably replace LaMarcus Jordan in the slot position also. He could play that very well also. He's a very talented player in the secondary, so I like that as a good fit for the Raiders in the second round. Cardinals, Tutu Atwell. I'm not very high on Tutu Atwell. He's very small, but he is a good route runner, but that's kind of it. He doesn't really have size. He's not going to go up and get the ball. I guess he could be a good deep threat. I would prefer even Jalen Darden maybe. But I think there's better players you can get a receiver right now in the draft than Tutu Atwell. But I guess he's still high on him. And then the Dolphins, Jalen Mayfield. Yeah, this is good value probably for Jalen Mayfield. I guess they could play him at tackle and move Robert Hunt. That's probably what they would have to do because they got Austin Jackson, who, I mean, they probably wouldn't give up on. He was all right for his rookie season. But they could get another player on the O-line, maybe a guard more or a center, but I don't mind that. Football team, Davis Mills. Yeah, I really like this fit for Davis Mills. I think him or Kellen Bond would be a good pick to the football team. They do have Heineke, but I don't know if he really can be your future quarterback. But I think Davis Mills could be that. And he can learn from Ryan Fitzpatrick, so I like that fit. Bears, Anthony Schwartz. I'm not really high on Anthony Schwartz, but the Bears could use a receiver. His receivers rankings just be funky. Like, where's Surratt? Tylan Wallace, man. Titans, Asante Samuel. Jeez, he falls a lot. I didn't even know he was on the board. I really like Asante Samuel. If he falls to 53 to the Titans, that'd just be a really good steal because I think he's a really good player. Can play in the slot also, so he has that versatility. I think he can play on the outside also, which is kind of what people were scared about, but he's a good player. They call it Samuel Cosme. Yeah, they need to place that tackle position. This is very good value for Samuel Cosme. I don't know if he falls all the way to 54, though. They probably have to trade up for him in real life. But, yeah, they need a tackle. Steelers, Dylan Radunes. Yeah, Dylan Radunes also dropping. The tackle is really dropping this draft. And that would be a really good replacement for Villanueva. And very freak athlete, so I like it. Seahawks, Joseph Asai. Edge isn't their biggest need because they signed players there, so I'm not sure about that. Probably not good. Ernest Jones, jeez. All his rankings are weird. Ernest Jones, I have not seen him up this high in the second round. Like, he's got 2 players, and I'm like, what? But I guess the Rams could use another linebacker, but I don't know if this is his value. They could probably get him later on. Ravens, Liam Eichenberg. Yeah, Liam Eichenberg is a good player. Orlando Brown, he once traded. Nothing's happened yet. So, I mean, Liam Eichenberg can play guard, so I don't mind it. He's a versatile player. Browns, Dwayne Eskridge. I really like Dwayne Eskridge. I think he's a really good receiver. Better than some of the dudes he had all the way out, like Tutu Atwell. And that could be a good pick for the Browns. They could improve. And the Saints, oh, geez, they get Rondale Moore here. That'd just be a steal. I picked 60. Rondale Moore, very talented receiver. I would love that pick. Replacing Minor Sanders very well. Bills, Benjamin St. Juste. I like Benjamin St. Juste. He's a good cornerback. And the Bills, they could get another corner. And then we'll kind of scroll through these. Jackson Carman, yeah, good tackle. Javon Hall is still on the board. But why was he considering that? They got safeties. Yeah, but they could use more depth on the all-line. And Walker Little, I would prefer Walker Little than Jackson Carman, but if the Chiefs get him here, that'd be a good pick. And then Simi Fehoko, this is also, I would prefer Tylan Wallace here also. but they could replace Antonio Brown if they don't get him back. So yeah. And that's Mel Kiper's interesting 2-round mock draft. The first round was pretty simple, like nothing bad about it, but the second round was a bit weird. So I hope you enjoyed, and tell me